hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Shining Force Gaiden. We have equipped the whole party with the upgraded weapons we got from the shop. I even equipped the people we're not using right now because it's not like we're running short on gold. And now we are ready to take the fight to Woldol. I think Randolph is going to lead us to our next battle. Woldol is up there in that castle on the hill. The Shining Force, do what it takes but delay them. Once we've completed the summoning, we will be invincible. So presumably they're summoning Iome or whatever other evil force is in this game, as per usual for Shining Force. I decided not to swap out anyone in the party right now, Oh, actually, I guess Randolph was auto-added. Did not realize that would happen. Well, I don't want him here, so I'm actually going to quickly cycle through and just egress us out so I can dump him. I wish when it added new people... Maybe he was in the party and I just... No, he was not in the party because I just looked at the change party members list and he was not in the party. So I guess when we did our first battle with him, it just automatically added him, which annoys me because I don't actually want to use him. Just let me keep using the characters I already have. There we go. We're off to a great start here. But yeah, I want to use Domingo. He's more fun. But anyway, this is basically a big outdoor map. Let's take a peek. Yeah, so it's just a big giant place for us to walk through. So I guess we'll just walk like this. Oh, there will be a bottleneck there though. Well, maybe we'll kind of wander around, you know, so we'll like go this way and then up. And I believe there is one enemy with an item that we are gonna want. I think that's the next battle. I don't see anyone... Ah, this guy. Yeah, we're going to want to defeat this guy. As you can see, he is carrying the Valkyrie, a weapon he can't use, so I guess it's just there as treasure. But it's a really good spear that we can't buy in shops, so we're going to want to steal it from that enemy. We have the Evil Bishop, who has Aura. That's going to be annoying as heck. And we have the upgraded Minotaur, who is the Executioner. I think this battle ends when you defeat the Executioner, so we're not going to go, like... all the frickin' way up here. The guide I'm using is like send some people up, some to the left, and I'm like, why? I'm just sending everyone through the middle. I'm not... Why am I even gonna bother going all the way up and to the right? I don't care about those enemies. They're not important. In a game where you can grind infinitely, you don't need to kill every enemy on the map for normal battles. I assume the enemies will approach us, but I'd rather meet them with the force clumped together than split us up into separate groups. Like, that's the thing, and I feel like this has been true in all the Shining Force games we have recorded thus far. Your strength is in numbers, right? Like, compared to, like, Fire Emblem, for example, where in most Fire Emblem games, your individual party members are much stronger than each individual enemy. But there's just tons of enemies. Whereas in Shining Force, I feel like you're like in Fire Emblem, you can usually, sometimes you can even kill an enemy with like one character's attack or two characters. That's usually not been the case in Shining Force. Even though we've generally been a bit over leveled for basically every part in the game that we're at, it usually takes multiple characters to down a single enemy. And they can do a fair amount of damage to us. We're over leveled enough here that our defenses are pretty high, but still, we can, especially from the magic using enemies, they can really do a number. So splitting the party into small groups can lead us getting overwhelmed because we have to use, like, if we have to use like 4 or 5 characters to kill 1 or 2 enemies, then a large clump of enemies can quickly overwhelm us. Whereas keeping the whole force together lets us fend off the enemies pretty well. So, whereas, honestly, when I play Fire Emblem games, I actually do split the party to, like, achieve multiple objectives and stuff fairly often. That's a typical strategy for me, you know, so it's like, send some people over here to, you know, visit this house and get a treasure, send someone over there to defeat this long-range enemy, whatever. I generally don't do that in Shining Force because I just don't find it to be as effective as a tactic. Just bought her the Holy Staff, so let's try it out. Excellent. I'm so glad that Mayfair has turned into one of our best melee characters because she's the healer, so that just fills me with delight. It's so ridiculous. And obviously she's over-leveled, but like, she's not that over-leveled at this point. Her attack is competitive with like our best people. Now, I feel like in Shining Force Sword of Asia also, towards the later on in the game, the healers got some decent weapons, unlike the wizards who always had weapons that just didn't give them very many points. Like they never have decent attack, whereas the healers kind of did get okay weapons. So I guess that's just like how it's supposed to work. It's like, oh, they become useful in battle as well, but it still seems funny to me. It just seems so incongruous. Like the Master Monks being fighting and healing characters is like, okay, that kind of makes sense thematically, but the Vicars being like, you know, I'm a priest, but I can also fight. It's like, why? That's so strange. And they're not, the Master Monks use actual weapons. They're using like the fist weapons, whereas the healer is using the holy staff, like a magical healing staff, so it just makes it even funnier. Keep working on Gaiden. I was not expecting to keep him in the party. I gotta say, I was like, I guess I'll use him for this one mission, and then I was like, well, I'll level him up so it won't be a pain to use him. And then when I was giving everyone to level 20, I was like, well, I might as well level him and Kashing up as well. They're here. It seems silly not to. It's not any harder than leveling everyone else up. And he ended up actually becoming pretty darn good. After promotion, you know, I ended up getting him a couple levels, and he just advanced rapidly. So I'm hopeful that he can become pretty badass eventually. Fingers crossed. Good job, Domingo. I feel like he is actually slightly less broken than he was in Fire Emblem 1. And, you know, it's funny, this is, I've mentioned this before, but this is the Sega CD version of this game. So that is a remake. The original game was on the Sega Game Gear. And its sequel, this Sega CD remake contains both this game and the sequel, Shining Force Sword of Asia. And I think it has like an extra scenario or something too. I'm not totally sure. Actually, I have to think about how we can access that because we haven't been able to make save games and it was not available from the menu. Well, I'll have to check again because I sort of assumed that Shining Force Final Conflict was like part of this disc or something, you know, this Sega CD game, but maybe it was a standalone product. Either that or it's something that you can only unlock when you finish both the other scenarios, which will require me to investigate the emulator a little more deeply because thus far I have not been able to get the emulator to make a saved game. I've just been relying on save states. You know, it's not a big deal. We can use that instead of a save game. But if we actually need to have a save game in order to, might as well just use Aura because it's just as easy as using like Heal 3. And it's cool. It's fun. But if we need to have a save game in order to unlock the final scenario, then I will have to figure that out. Sorry if there's a lot of like background noise on the mic. This is just like a crappy headset that I got for free from a previous job, so it's not like, it doesn't even have like a microphone poof or like a pop screen or anything. It's literally just a mic, just is attached to some cheap headphones. So it has a tendency to like it like pick up breath noises and stuff more. So I am not sure the sound quality is really great. Man, these mountains are really annoying. This is another map where a lot of this is just us walking in a straight line. Well, a curvy line, I guess. But yeah, this is yet another we're going on a road trip sort of map. But yeah, I'm hoping, hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to get Final Conflict working. Because it could be interesting. I actually don't know anything about it. Oh yeah, what was I just saying? Yeah, so this is the Sega CD version. It is a remake, and I didn't play the original of this game, but I did play the original of Sword of Asia, and I played the original of Shining Force 1. And in those games, the level 3 of Freeze and Blaze has range 3. And the lower levels of Bolt also have range 3. That's what, like, Bolt's unique deal is that it has a bigger range to start. In this game, that is not the case, and it wasn't the case in Shining Force 2. So I'm wondering if, but the original Sword of Asia did have that mechanic. So I'm wondering if between the release of the originals and the release of this game, which I think this was only a year after Sword of Asia, I think like, Shining Force 1 was 1992. I think this game was 93. Sword of Asia was 94. And then I think this Sega CD version was like 95 maybe? 96? It was like soon after, you know, the compilation was made. And I'm wondering if basically they altered that mechanic because they were like, this isn't very balanced, it's way too powerful. And that's why the spells have a limited range here. Man, you know that. I mean, I guess on the one hand, like, I was kind of, on the one hand, I'm like, man, I could dig up a Game Gear emulation version of Sword of Asia and play that instead. That's, you know, on this same emulator. This emulator does multiple Genesis consoles, and that would be the same as when I played as a kid. But then I'm also like, you know, playing the remake is also valid, and you know, it's cool. And I mean, on the one hand, it has a nostalgia factor, but honestly, the rebalance is good because, as I mentioned before in this series, Freeze 3 in particular was bugged in the original Sword of Asia, and to deal the damage of Freeze 4 at the same range as Freeze 3. So you'd have this 3x3 range spell that could do like 40 damage to each character it hit, which could destroy your entire army. And it was a spell that enemies had on certain maps, so it was rough. So even though it's sad to lose that in your own party, because one of the wizards that you can recruit learns Freeze, and then you can just spend the rest of the game destroying everything with Freeze 3, including bosses, which is pretty darn fun. But it's probably for the best that they rebalanced it. It was pretty absurd. Like, range 3 spells are hard to deal with when enemies have them. Oh, that must be what the Holy Staff does. It must, like, recover HP as you go or whatever. I'm actually gonna have him attack our wizardy friend here because high spells are annoying, you know? It's gonna deal us some damage. That's a problem. Claude can go handle that. But yeah, I guess I'll record the Sega CD remake of Sword of Asia. Plus, it'll be neat to see the upgraded graphics. I assume it has upgraded graphics because, like, this game alone has much more, like, fine-grained shading and stuff than I recall from childhood Sword of Asia. And I'm assuming that's because it's a Sega CD game, not a Game Gear game. That's a pure guess though, but I'm interested to see what the remake could look like. And maybe it even has like an updated translation or something. I have no idea what all went into the remake or how in depth they went, like whether it was just a really basic port or whether they like properly remade it. I actually don't know. Because I didn't even have a Sega CD as a kid. I have no idea. It's possible they're both just straight up ports, you know, so there's really no difference, but maybe there would be some difference that'll be interesting. But yeah, Domingo is not quite as overpoweringly strong here as he was in Shining Force 1. And I think it's in part due to the fact that, you know, they fixed Freeze. So it's no longer maximally absurd. But he is still a good egg. And he is still very, very cute, gotta say. Look how jolly he looks. I wonder if we'll ever get any more spells than that. Like, does anybody in this game get the 4th level of spells? Nobody has yet, but our spellcasters are at level 1 still. Gotta make sure to get them in here more. Maybe I need to give the quick ring to one of them and the running ring. Because I feel like they just don't get their turn enough. Domingo might die again. I think I was so used to him being basically an unkillable tank in the first game than Shining Force 1 that I keep flinging him into dangerous situations quite carelessly. I got used to him being able to just survive everything. Yeah, I really wonder if the AI like is programmed to only use magic when it can hit multiple targets, because otherwise it makes no sense why sometimes AI wizards just attack you, because that's a useless action. If I felt like level grinding more, this would actually be a good map to do it. Yes, we got the Valkyrie. That's very good for friend Apis. Upgrade to that. I wish like in Fire Emblem you could use, instead of the give command, it was trade so that either person could initiate it, because then I could just have Apis grab the weapon from Shade, but that's not how it works here, I don't think. There we go. I mean, I guess I could try it. I literally never have tried that. Yeah, no, it's true. He has to pick first, yeah. I thought that was the case, but then I was like, now that I think of it, I think I just assumed that and didn't try it, so I should at least check. What if I was wrong, you know? Okay, I got rid of that annoying wizard. Oh, man. So many of my characters are just not very fast. An ongoing issue. Man, maybe you can defeat the Dullahan. Well, you didn't defeat him, but you did give him a good hit anyway. I mean, not that good. A lot of other characters could have done better, but you're doing your best. That's what matters. I really want to get some of our characters that are falling behind a level or two, especially the wizards who... oh, I forgot that they could use magic. Dispel. Oh no, silence. Well, Mayfair wasn't affected. Neither of them were affected. But yeah, you know, that the fact that I couldn't level them up in that one map where we promoted everyone kind of made it harder to level them up now because their agility is below everyone. But also they just only have 5 moves. Okay, this is a chance to get Wendy some max. But actually we can just use level 1 of Blaze. We're just cherry tapping it. The wizard casting animation is also sort of weird because they're like tipping backwards. It looks like they're gonna fall. Yeah, Wendy's pretty close to middle level. Nisha's not as close. Gotta try and really focus on getting them some levels. Let's just bust out Aura. Sometimes it takes ages to get it to focus on the character that I actually want. It's because it has higher range, so there's a lot of options for it to cycle through, but man, it can be hard to find the correct configuration. There we go. Everybody nice and healed up. Very good, Mayfair. Mayfair is ridiculously high level. I love it though. No regrets. I guess you can pop off another heal 3. Why not? Dum. I'm kind of just going to stall a little here and try to get my wizards up with the rest of the group. Those golems are apparently just... I sort of thought these enemies would approach us, but apparently they're just going to sit there until the end of time. Maybe they would only approach if we got close enough, I don't know. Okay, wizards up a bit. And Mayfair can use Aura 1 here. Takes ages, I'm telling you. There we go. That was literally the last in the list. I should have pressed left instead of right, but I wasn't sure how close to the end of the list of characters should be. I don't totally know the logic of how it cycles through them. There we go. Everybody nice and healthy as we approach the end of the battle. Gradually going forward. Very gradually. Man, Roos is having trouble keeping up. This is why I usually don't bring gladiator characters, because they don't have very good move and they don't have very good agility, so they tend to fall behind. But you know, I wanted to keep him in the party since we are trying to rescue his dad. So you know, it feels like it has story importance. I wonder if I'm right about his dad being Luke from the first game, because Luke was one of the initial party members, but he didn't have any particular, like, story role. I don't think he even really had any dialogue or anything. But he was there. I mean, it makes sense that Lo is the advisor, because he's, like, your best buddy in that game. But you'd think that, I think her name was Meg, the centaur, who was the daughter of your mentor who got killed. She was, like, the more plot-important character. And even there, like, she has a couple lines, but it wasn't a game that had a lot of individual character arcs or anything. I don't know how they picked Luke, if that is indeed what happened, to be the guy who gets the story about him. Well, I guess at least if he's using aura on himself, then, you know, he's not attacking us, and we can get more X from fighting him, I guess. Oh, Dullahan on the move. I guess maybe now that we've gotten past a certain point, you know, on the map, it's like that triggers it to start attacking us and moving over or something, I don't know. Could also be based on number of turns, not sure. Just trying to get some X for our wizards. While Nick draws aggro. As the main character, the enemies seem to like to attack him more frequently. He does seem to draw a lot of aggro from enemies if he is an available target. He seems to get prioritized a bit. That is what I noticed while level grinding. And it was a good way to kind of protect the squishier characters, because sometimes enemies would ignore them even if they could have killed them. Good job, Stock. Become a very reliable warrior. Man, it feels like ages ago that we added him and Mayfair to our party. A long way we've come. Yeah, this is gonna definitely overkill him, but what can you do? We can use like freeze too, that should do the trick. There we go. Went to level 2. Slowly leveling up the mages. I do feel like it gets tougher to level up the mages because, you know, they have to use up their MP to attack, and they can only do limited amounts of damage. Especially in this game where the level 3 spell doesn't really do that much, it does like 15, which just isn't that big of a hit. Whereas, back in the day, when it was bugged in sort of Asia as a kid, it became quite easy to level up your mages because they could do absurd amounts of damage. So May would actually become... Although, that's the thing though, the other mage you got in that game was actually not as easy to level up. The fire mage. And this was true in Shining Force 1, which we played as well. Henri, once we kind of babied her a little at the beginning, she came in low level, she became like Henri Destroyer of Worlds, whereas Tao started to fall behind a little because Blaze 3 was not broken and Freeze 3 was. Broken in the literal sense of being bugged. So the mages who had Freeze got absurdly overleveled. But the rest didn't. So in this game where Freeze is not bugged, all the mages do have that struggle. I just really like using mages. I don't even know if they're like especially useful or whatever. Our melees can do more damage, you know, to any single target. But magic is just so fun. Okay, I should be able to get her maybe a level up. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it should be enough. At least that's a start. But yeah, because they don't move as fast, it is tough to get them kind of into the battle. But little by little, you know. Have him chill. I'm gonna try and just only focus on the characters who actually need levels, which... Oops, yeah, I was gonna have him. There's a risk that will KO. Gaiden can get in the mix. Let's have her blast off. This won't kill him, but it'll be more X for her. This is the thing too, she can only cast this spell. That didn't seem to take any MP for some reason. What the heck? Because did I just miss it? I thought that she had 11 to start, and then it didn't seem to go down. Maybe I, like, wasn't looking at the time the MP got spent. But, you know, she has 40 MP, she can cast that spell 4 times. It really feels like it's not totally worth it to have her use it when it's not a KO. Because, you know, you don't get as much. Where's this one? Try and get one of these go. So it is a little tougher to train them at times. Let's finish this up with Wendy getting the kill. And like, to do reasonable damage, they really have to be using level 3. Otherwise, you know, that's excellent. So it is tough. They only have so many spells per battle, whereas the melee character is going to attack pretty infinitely. Your days of conquest are over. From now on, Woldol is protected by the great spirit of Ion. And now we're all going to twirl around and explode as usual. Wrong. Days of conquest are almost over. Wow, It's sort of weird to call them days of conquest, but I guess from the perspective of the people of Cyprus, yeah. But like, we came here because they tried to destroy us. It's not like we just wanted to conquer them. Let's go inside and end Woldol's reign. So we're getting towards the end of the game here. We're heading towards the final confrontation. Did anyone get injured or whatever? No one's poisoned or cursed. No one's exhausted. Well, let's watch the opening cutscene of the next one then, since we have a few minutes left on this video. Okay. It was rude of you to keep me waiting, Nick. We have never seen this guy before. Still, I heard what you did to Dantum, so you must have some skill. He kind of looks like some sort of magical being because of his glowing eyes. Like, he almost looks like maybe a common rider or something because of his helmet and stuff. Come on, show me what you've learned, and then I'll show you how it's done. Who the hell is this guy? He's talking like he knows us. Okay, I have no idea who that guy is, and it wasn't explained, but he has a face portrait for some reason. So this is a battle where, yeah, we're pretty much walking forwards. It will take a while because there's actually a fair amount of dead space between us and the enemies, and there's a choke point. Nothing to be done about it, though. There's some new enemies. The Assassin is the upgraded Archer. Demon Master's still here. Lots of golems. Oh, we've already upgraded the Cerberus into the Chimera. The map sprite looks kind of silly. Got a treasure chest. Oh, we have the Wyverns as our new flying enemies. I'm assuming they breathe fire. So got the Evil Bishop, and here is Geppel. I feel like maybe we heard his name at some point before, but we never saw him. So he has the Axe of Atlas, so maybe we can get that from him. That'd be cool. He also has boost. He has so much HP that it's over 99. We don't even know how much it is. But yeah, I have no idea who the hell he is. The game seems to think we should know from how he's talking. There's a treasure chest, and I believe this is also the map where we can find the other secret character up in this area here, on this side of the castle. Tile set is quite nice here with the castle. So yeah, we're gonna do that next battle, and one of my goals is gonna be to try and get some additional levels for our mages who fell behind a bit. So thank you for watching, hypothetical viewers. I hope you will look forward to our acquisition of another adorable squid friend, and to defeating Geppel, whoever the hell he is. His art kind of looks like he came from a different game. The style is really different from everyone else. Or like he's one of the robots from ancient days or whatever that are in these games. Maybe that's his deal. He just doesn't seem to match any of the other enemies. But he does have a face portrait, so he must be important. But anyway, I hope you will look forward to that in the next episode of Shining Force Gaiden.